It's time for a collection update. Hey, I'm Amy and welcome back. I have a DVD and Blu-ray collection update for you. It's very small and it's not all of the movies I have gotten because some of them I have gotten through work and they are not out yet, so I don't think I'm really allowed to talk about them yet. And for the record, I'm not going to be talking about where I work just for the sake of my privacy. I just want to keep that part of my life kind of private. This is going to be a hodgepodge of a bunch of different Blu-rays and DVDs. The first ones I'm going to start out with are some of the Blu-ray and DVDs I have gotten through work. We get a bunch of Blu-rays and DVDs, and the first one I'm going to be talking about is one that I kind of flipped through. Most of these ones from work I haven't seen fully, or I've just skipped through, but this one, when they handed it to me and they were like, do you want this? I immediately picked it up and said yes, because it was just so funny when I was watching the parts that I watched. It is called Rockula. It is about a teenage vampire who's trying to get the girl of his dreams, and he has some pretty funny and very different genre-wise performances in this, and it is definitely worth checking out. I haven't watched it fully, like I said, but I've been meaning to watch this fully, and if you get a chance, check it out. Let me know what you think of it, because it's really funny. I don't think it's like on streaming platforms or anywhere you would have to buy this in a physical copy, but I think it looks really funny. It's an old movie. It's from 1990. So this is like right up my alley. This is the kind of like horror that I really like, because it's not like a scary movie, but it's supposed to be a scary movie, and yeah, it's really good fun. The next one you will probably recognize. It is a TV show that I have heard a lot about, and a lot of people have been telling me I need to check it out. So when I saw it at work, I was like, yeah, I might as well. Even though it is on Netflix, you can watch this on Netflix. It is The Good Place with Kristen Bell. I've been meaning to watch this for so long, and season 2 is wrapping up or just wrapped up, and I think they're starting to film season 3 soon. But yeah, I've heard so many good things about this show, and I definitely will check this out soon. The next one is not the only Jeff Goldblum movie I have in this haul today. It is a movie that I have not seen, but I have heard so much about. It is Into the Night with Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer, directed by John Landis. This is another movie that I picked up from work. I just love Jeff Goldblum. He is such a very weird and crazy guy, and he's just hilarious, and everything he does is just the best. And so this, I don't really know what it's about. I think it's kind of like a mystery romance comedy movie, but it definitely looks like something that I would love watching, because it's an 80s movie, and I love a good 80s movie. I love a good Jeff Goldblum movie. And the final Blu-ray I have from work is one you will recognize a lot of the faces on. It is Band-Aid. It has Fred Armisen in it, and Adam Pally from, not New Girl, Mindy Project. He's from the Mindy Project. And Zoe Lister-Jones. I am not familiar with her work, but I do love Adam Pally and Fred Armisen. They are some really great, funny guys. I don't know much about this movie either. It is one that some coworkers had recommended that I check out. I guess it's about a band, and I'm not really selling this very well, I don't think. I will definitely watch this movie, and I will put a reaction on Stardust with my review of this if you want to know my thoughts on it. The next section of movies is like a big box set collections that I found at Target. They're probably still there. They're not very expensive. It was like $10, I think, for each one of these box sets, and I've gotten them over the course of like a couple weeks, actually maybe a couple months. I think I started getting these back in January. The first one is the Alien Quadrilogy. I've only seen the first 2 of these, and it's kind of the only reason I got this. For $10, you get 4 movies, and 2 of them are 2 of my favorite horror movies of all time. So it's like, I get 2 really great movies, and I get 2 really bad, kind of bad movies. I don't know for sure if Alien Cubed or Alien 3 or Alien Resurrection are all that great. I've seen like people talk about them, but I do love Alien and Aliens. They're so great, so I just was like, might as well get this because I love it so much. And then the next three are very similar movie sets, and you've probably seen them in the background of my videos before, so I'm going to kind of just flip through them really quick. It is the films of the 80s, the films of the 90s, and films of the 2000s. So the movies that you get on this, you get five movies on each one, it looks like. And some of these I had already had. So for the films of the 80s, it's Crocodile Dundee, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Harlem Nights, The Naked Gun, and Some Kind of Wonderful. In this one, I have already had Ferris Bueller's Day Off, if I can talk. And I love that movie so much. So I have it on regular DVD, but I mean, having it in this collection, I watched the rest of the movies. I know The Naked Gun is probably a really funny, I've heard it's a really funny movie because it's got Leslie Nielsen in it from Airplane, which if you did not see the video I did on Airplane for my 1001 challenge 2 weeks ago, definitely check it out up there. And it's got Richard Pryor in Harlem Nights. I love Richard Pryor's stand-up. He is really funny. And I've been meaning to watch Crocodile Dundee, which I don't know why I've never watched that before. I feel like it's a movie that I would have watched in the 90s. But Some Kind of Wonderful, I think, is probably the only movie on this set that I will never watch, even though I think it might be on the 1001 list. I'm not sure on that. And the movies in the 90s pack are Clueless, Ghost, Superstar, Tommy Boy, and Wayne's World. I thought when I bought this I had already had Clueless, but I checked through my collection and I actually did not. So I'm really glad to have this because Clueless is one of my favorite 90s like teen movies. Never watched Ghost. Probably will though because I've heard so much about it and I bet it's on the 1001 list as well. And then Superstar and Tommy Boy are two of just the, well actually Superstar, Tommy Boy, and Wayne's World are some really great movies. And of course Superstar and Wayne's World are from some Saturday Night Live geniuses, Molly Shannon and Superstar, and Mike Myers and Dana Carvey with Wayne's World. I am so excited to finally have these in my collection, and I've been meaning to watch Tommy Boy because who does not love a David Spade and Chris Farley team up? Some classic movies on this. And finally, for the 2000s, the early 2000s, it is Anchorman, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Save the Last Dance, She's the Man, and Zoolander. So on this, I actually had two of these already. It was How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I have on digital. I got it for free because I had some code on iTunes. So I've had How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days for forever, which I really enjoy that. It's just a fun Matthew McConaughey rom-com. Jeez. And I did have Zoolander already, but I mean, Zoolander is also a great movie, just like Ferris Bueller. Anchorman, I am iffy on Will Ferrell sometimes. I've like seen parts of Anchorman, so I'm just like, I'm not like super excited about it, but I will definitely be watching it again or fully all the way through sometime. And Save the Last Dance, I watched once a long time ago. This movie came out in 2001, yeah. So I watched Save the Last Dance when it came out, probably when it was on, like came out on DVD or VHS for the first time at like a slumber party or something when I was in middle school. Not my favorite movie. It's probably after Some Kind of Wonderful on the movies I will not watch. Like, I probably will never watch Save the Last Dance ever. But She's the Man, I got this and I put that movie in right away. This is a movie that my sisters and I watched constantly growing up. We loved Amanda Bynes and the Amanda Bynes movies. This is a movie that introduced me to Channing Tatum, and oh man, it's a great movie. It's based on a Shakespeare novel, a Shakespeare play. I don't remember which one, but it's hilarious. Next up are two childhood movies that I don't know why I never had in my collection in this format. The first one is E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial. This was on sale at Target a couple weeks ago. I get most of my movies from Target or from work, so that's where a lot of these come from. But E.T. was on sale, and it has this really cool case on it. Oh, there's like something sticky on it already. Sweet. But it's got this like beautiful case on the back. Like Elliot and E.T. are kind of highlighted in this nice shimmery. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to look in the viewfinder. But it looks really cool on the like slip. And it's just, this is such a classic movie, so good. The next one I actually had on VHS already, but I love the movie so much, and my VHS player stopped working, which was very, very depressing to me because I was wanting to watch this movie. I put it in and the VCR just did not work. So I got Ferngully. I have it on VHS already. This is the tape I've been watching since, oh god, when did this movie come out? 1992? I've been watching this tape. I've had this tape since probably 1992. I loved this movie so much. It was the first Robin Williams movie I remember watching, even more than Aladdin, which this came out a couple months before Aladdin did, but this was my introduction to Robin Williams. His rap as Batty the Bat is one of my favorite things of all time, and when I was watching this movie at least once a week when I was younger, I remember going around the house rapping it because it's so good and so funny. And he has a line where he goes, "It's delicious and nutritious, it tastes just like chicken." And my mom would say that to me to get me to eat pork chops, because I've never really liked pork chops or like red meat or anything. I don't eat that stuff now. And that's how my mom would get me to eat pork chops and a lot of other meat, because she would just say it tastes like chicken. And she would use my favorite quote from Robin Williams to do that. But Ferngully is one of my absolute favorite movies. If you have never seen this movie before, you really should. It's such a beautiful movie, and it has such a great message too. I have 3 more movies. One of them is just a little, just kind of insert. It's a new one that I got, and I want to talk about it a little bit. It is the Florida Project, the Best Supporting Actor nominated Florida Project with Willem Dafoe. This is one of the movies that was nominated for the Oscars that I really wanted to see but never got the chance to. So when it was on sale, when it first came out at Target, I immediately purchased it. There is a handful of other Oscar nominated movies at Target that I want to purchase, like 3 Billboards, I, Tonya. I want to get Darkest Hour, even though I wasn't too fond of that movie. Basically, every Oscar nominated movie that has recently come out, I will be planning on getting, but this movie just looked so cute and so adorable, which is redundant, but the way they got the actress who plays the mom and the little girl is a very great story. So I'm definitely going to be watching this and posting a reaction on Stardust for you guys to check out if you want to know my thoughts on this movie. Now the next 2 are Target exclusives, and I have fun stories to tell with both of these. The first one is Coco, and it looks like this. I'm going to do a little kind of unboxing for you guys. It is the Target exclusive. It has this beautiful slip on the back, and it has this amazing looking case that flips out like this, and this is what it looks like on the inside. And so that's the behind the, I guess I put the DVD, or that's the bonus features, the Blu-ray bonus features. So right there, and then behind where the feature film is just kind of throwing DVDs everywhere, is just the continuation of this side. But the cool thing about this is the art book. A lot of the new Target exclusive are doing this art book, and on one side it has the story of Coco, and it's just this beautiful glossy book. And then if you flip it over, it has this art book side where it has the like artist and I think the director and screenwriter give a little intro, and then there's just a bunch of art from the movie, from the animators and artists from Coco. So this is really awesome. I am going to be honest with you guys. I do not think that they sell this anymore. I believe it was a limited edition release for Target, and it was online only. I could not find this in stores. The day it came out, I went to Target to look for it. They had every other format available on the shelves, but they did not have a space for this one. So I had to order it online on Target's website, and I waited an entire week for this to get to me. It took forever. It took way too long, and This I don't think is Target's fault. It is definitely the shipping, because it came cracked a little bit right there. Not cool, but that I believe is just UPS, because I never have any luck with UPS. So yeah, that was an online only exclusive, and I think it's sold out now. Last time I checked, it was sold out. And finally is probably my favorite of the Target exclusives. It is Thor Ragnarok. Now this one is a very fun story. So I'm gonna go through the thing. This is the slip. It's got, I mean, Thor, Chris Hemsworth on the front, and then on the back it's really awesome with this like huge picture of everybody in the movie, and then Hela's huge. And then here is the book. It's the inside is kind of got, oh, it's got the Hulk, and then it flips out to this, but just ignore this right now. So it's got this, and then the inside looks like this, which is probably my favorite part of this entire thing. The way, like, just the Thor and the Hulk, oh, it's so cool. And then here's the inside. I don't think, yeah, behind these two, it's just kind of a standard, like, stock image of this color. And then it's got this art book. This is a just complete art book. There is no, like, story in it like the way Coco was. But it's got these really fun, very 80s prints on them, an intro from Taika Waititi, the director, and just like little bits and pieces about different characters and how they came up with that, including Korg, my personal favorite character from Thor. So, fun story about this. This, again, was not in any stores whatsoever. Every time I looked for it online, not in stores, not in stock anywhere. And the day I went to go pre-order this, the day they released pre-orders for this, it sold out. It was sold out everywhere, sold out online. So I waited a couple days, and then I looked the day it came out, it was still sold out, and I waited the Friday after it was released. I checked the app, like stuck in traffic, I checked the Target app, and they restocked. So I immediately bought one. Took me another week to get this, mostly because of like winter storm delays, but I finally got it, and it was a journey. Like, a friend of mine was out sick, and he even went to see if it was in a Target that it said it was in stock at, but they didn't have it in stock. And finally, a couple weeks later, another coworker was at Target, and they found and bought these for them and for my other coworker. So they did have some of these in store, but I think I'm throwing everything today. They did have some of these in store, but I think it was another limited release. I know they're doing one for Black Panther and for The Last Jedi. I don't think I will be getting those. Their art books didn't look as cool as this one or Coco. These two were just two of my favorite movies last year, so I thought might as well get the fun art books for them. I may do Black Panther coming up in the future. I may not get the Last Jedi one because I want my Star Wars thing to look all uniform, and that one would kind of mess it all up. But that is my updated collection for you guys. If you want to see me do this with a bunch of the movies that I get from work, let me know, because I get at least 1 to 2 every week, and I can just do a roundup at the end of every month. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really truly do appreciate every single one of you. Let me know who you are in the comments down below, and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you're new, because I love talking all things movies, TV, filmmaking, film history, and of course sharing my movie collection with you. So I hope you guys stick around, and I'll see you next time. Bye!